Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Rising World. So today we need to actually do something with our mine entrance, because that's not really going to work the way it is right now. But first, I kind of want to do something with the top part of it. So let's go see what we can add here. So we'll fly up a little bit. We're going to try and keep this pretty small. Hello, how are you today, Hansen? Okay, yeah, I want the stone to come out enough to kind of cover this edge here that doesn't really look realistic. So there's that. That looks better. You know, I think while we're improving realism, we're going to jump over here and do the same thing real quick. I'll just kind of fill in. Ooh, fill in a lot of this. This is very much not filled in. You guys are still getting snow? Wow. We've actually been having some fairly nice weather. Some rain mixed with snow. So spring is sort of coming, you could say. It's not exactly hurrying, but it really never does. But we're slowly starting to see hints that good weather might be coming, which is really about as good as it gets. We could still have a blizzard at the end of March. That would not be too terribly abnormal, really. I know a lot of people would be totally shocked and horrified by it, but it's people who moved here from like warm places and are not accustomed to our weather patterns. Okay. I'll smooth this out later. I just really want it to look a little bit more like this was actually carved out of the side of a mountain, and a little bit less like I built the mountain around it. Which is, I think, kind of what it was looking like. It felt like to me. It looked like I just built a mountain on top of a building, which is definitely not what I wanted. Okay, let's take a look at that from ground level. I think it looks a little bit better. I'm probably still going to fiddle with it a lot, but for the time being, I think that looks better. Okay, sounds good. So let's see here. I need to figure out what I'm doing for a mine entrance. Now, trying to decide how far in I want to go before I go down. I think, let's see. Go to my block bench here. And natural, we'll grab some natural blocks. And then I think I'm going to use the ramp blocks quite a bit with this. The idea being that it would be easier for them to have a ramp going down into the mine and then carts pulling things back up. And I might try to actually, we'll see, lay down something that looks like tracks for carts to go up and down. But first off, I want to make this a little bit smaller. So I'll turn my nice little cheaty light on here. I'm going to start bringing the ceiling down right about here. And I'm going to use the ramp blocks for this too, because I want it all to look very sloped. So, yeah, about like that's good. Want a very nice, kind of a gentle slope down into a mine shaft. And I'm not really going to do much, probably. I'm probably not going to do too much excessive detailing down inside the mine. I really just want the entrance to look realistic. So let's clear out some of this stuff so that we have a good... Oh, look at that. We found a sheep. Hi, Mr. Sheep. You're in the wrong spot. Just saying. You are in the wrong spot. Okay. All right. That should do it. I can kind of build around that. Yeah, you might want to leave. Definitely might want to leave. So, let's see. I think I'm kind of just going to bring this all the way over. Kind of stepping our way down here. And then I will basically base the bottom off of what the top looks like, if that makes any sense. So once the upper slope is done, I will use that to help me gauge where to start my lower slope, because it's a little bit more difficult to do the upper slope. So it'll be easier if that's already done when I start the lower one. And up we go. There we go. And I'm okay with the rock being here because it kind of adds to the natural look of what we're doing. Across a little bit, give ourselves some kind of a foundation to use, so to speak. There we go. And it's not... You wouldn't want to do this sort of thing if you were actually playing in survival mode and had to think about your resources. You wouldn't really want to do this because it expends a lot of resources. You would want to really just kind of make your framework and not fill it in the way I have. This is really something that I can do because I'm playing in creative mode, because I don't have to worry about my resources. I have the freedom to do things like this, which are incredibly resource intensive. So again, kind of going across, oops, there we go. Starting out with the square blocks to give us kind of a framework to build our little ramp pieces onto. And again, it's okay if it really goes a little far out or over. That really doesn't matter, because by the time you're done, no one's really going to see it unless they decide to fly through it. So it's perfectly fine that it looks like this. Go. Kind of watch where you're at in terms of your ramp pieces. And I'm sorry, my voice is really scratchy today. I will just keep drinking a lot of water and hope that it's not too bad. Okay. Out. So just keep going across, and as long as you have like one side that has everything basically measured out for you, you'll be okay, because you'll just base everything off of that one side that you have measured. So I don't have to go down and do the same thing on that side, which is very helpful because it would be rather time consuming to do that. And I'm going to have to go a little bit further with these. Let's just go all the way down. Come on. There we go. Gives us kind of a pillar to work off of, to work over to. And I think that the sheep is now underneath our floor. So we're going to have the ghost of a sheep in our mine. Sheep ghost mine. That's kind of a really weird random name. Okay. Yep, almost went too far. Okay. And this is going to be, I'm going to keep most of the width because I do want this to look like it's a really big mine. So I do want to keep the majority of the width. I don't really want to make it any narrower. I really want to keep that massive feel that we have with kind of everything. This is really a very big build. And I like that. I want to keep that feeling. So I'm going to kind of work towards that. Yep, I can see the sheep down there. Okay, I'm going to start going back up, filling some of this. Oops. Let's make sure I can see it. There we go. And also going to have to start thinking about lighting, because obviously you're going to want your mine to be pretty well lit so that your workers can see what's going on. Your supervisors can see what your workers are doing. All of that. Yeah, that'll be fine. Because I'll probably add some actual natural stone back along here. Okay. Wow. This is going to slope down a lot. Okay. Back to our standard. I want to be kind of careful that I don't fall through the floor. Not that I would die if I did, but it would be kind of inconvenient. Okay. So now, let's see. All right. We're going to need, I would say, very large beams coming across for our lights. That will help us a great deal. And now that we're almost all the way to the bottom of this, we're gonna have to go down a bit before finishing this. So I'm gonna go 7, 4 to remove blocks. Let's kind of start there and finish over there. Delete. Let's go out a bit further. Delete any blocks that we have out there. I'm going to bring it back, and we're just going to delete a little bit more. Yeah, I don't want to delete too close to that door. Okay, perfect. All right, now the ramp going down is going to start. Which first means we're going to have to get rid of some of this. So F4, utilizing our grid. First, I'm just going to go in, level this out. There we go. There's going to be a fair amount of switching back and forth between the removal tools and actual building. Okay. There we go. Kind of laying down the platforms for our ramps, so to speak. And the next one down would be right there. And the next one would be there. Okay. And in this case, I'm going to lay down our ramps as we go, because I kind of need to be able to get back out. Oops, started at the wrong spot. Need to be there. And then there. There we go. Yes. Make sure that I have it all laid out correctly. And it's very nice that if you can see your starting point, you can just lay the ramp down through whatever else is there. Or, well, I mean, that actually applies to, really, any block. You can lay it down regardless, as long as you can see your starting point. A nice blue glow. What is a nice blue glow? Missing something. I don't see blue. Okay. And of course, this is going to get repainted to be oh, up there, you mean? Yeah, because it's night. Okay. So, the edges, I think that I'm going to let the edges be more of a natural stone look. Mostly so I don't have to worry about actually putting in edges. So, when in doubt, utilize laziness to your advantage. That's really all I have to say about that. Maybe I will go... No, I don't really want to narrow it. Maybe just one. Have this side look natural. Yeah, I think I will. So, first off, 10 a.m. is... Alright, well, normally 10 a.m. is a better time, but when you have a disgusting cloudy day like this, not so much. Now let's go into our placement. 2 for blocks. I for your block inventory. Natural blocks are down at the very bottom of the list. 215 is what you're going for. Now, let's go down here. Then we'll go up. Come on. Oh no. Out. And okay. Let's say our starting point is there. How far in have we come? 2? That's probably not a great idea. Yeah. Shift that over. There we go. Excellent natural stone wall. Just a few little gaps. It's okay. We can fix that. We can fix anything. We can fix anything. Over one. Yep. Perfect. And then from here down to there. Over. I have a few little gaps up here. Could fill them in. Not super concerned about that. Yeah, I would just rather have this side look like it's actually part of the cave wall. There we go. Right. Up. There we are. And we can actually do same thing over here. And no, over. Down. Stone. There we go. This, of course, will get filled in as we bring the ramp down. This is going to be rather steep. Now we're going to bring our nice leveling tool back. Bring it down a little bit more. Go across. And I will admit, the leveling process can be rather tedious when you're going down like this, when you're trying to decrease in steps, so to speak, instead of just one huge level area. That can be a little tedious. But I would argue that the end result is very much worth it. Oh. All right, and now we have to go down more. And I would rather use the actual leveling tool instead of just telling it to decrease, because this way it goes down by more manageable amounts. Oh, thought that was an actual cave for a minute, but it's not. So this way you kind of have a little bit more control. It's going down by an amount that you're determining. You're not ending up with giant holes in the ground, which can be a little obnoxious to try and smooth out and deal with, I think. Okay, go across with that. And again. Okay. And then this piece here. Oops, no, I want you to come across. Every once in a while you're over here and we're going to come across and the game says, no, actually we're going to go straight out in this really weird little thing that has nothing whatsoever to do with what you were trying to accomplish. And you're like, oh, okay, well, let's not do that, actually. Okay. This is going to be, it's going to be a little bit narrow, but that's okay, because we'll address that by just having a lot of little rail carts coming up. So it will seem, it will seem a little bit more realistic. Like the carts aren't very tall. There's just a lot of them. It's kind of how we'll deal with that discrepancy. There we go. There we are. And I do need to get lights in, I know. Kind of relying on the nice little cheaty light at the moment. Let's see here. Yeah, that doesn't seem too bad. Especially because this will, at some point, I want to go deeper down first. but that will even out. Let's see. Let's go a few more across. So we're almost kind of doing like 2 rows on the top and then 2 rows on the bottom to keep it a little bit balanced out as we go down. Oh, just kind of keeping a nice large area here so that we don't have to worry too much about bashing our heads on the upper area. Okay. And the benefit to having actual blocks along the sides is that when we alter the terrain, the blocks aren't affected. So we can just keep using them as guidelines going across without a problem. Okay. Let's see here. Oh. Maybe we can actually do 3 this time. Might cut it a little bit close, but that might be okay. Going over, doing 3 on the top. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. There we go. Yeah, I mean, to an extent, when I look at it, it almost seems like it's really short, but I don't think it's that bad. Okay. I do really need to go put lights in. I haven't quite decided what lights I want to put in and how I want to put them in yet, though. So I'm not exactly rushing to start that because I haven't decided how I'm doing it. Although, let's see. Let's take a look at our beams. So you'd want something that looks fairly weathered. That's not bad. And it kind of, yeah, let's use these because it matches what we did in the workshop. So we'll do those. And then have some lights. I'm going to place a couple of those just because I really like them. I think they're really cool. So I'm going to put them down at the entrance. And then again here at the top of the ramp. There we go. Wow. Nice and misty and foggy down there. Gosh, and that's where we're going, into that wonderful, you know, not at all spooky, dangerous looking hole. That's fun. Okay. All right, let's say, first of all, yeah, a little bit bigger and a lot longer. A lot longer. Okay, so definitely don't want to go with the grid. Yep, that looks good. Okay. So if we put them, actually, let's not do them on the sides. Let's do it across along here. That, yeah. Yeah, that's even. Now, if we do use the grid up here, what's that going to do for us? Actually, that might be good. Yeah, that might be good. Okay. Changed my mind. We're using the grid. I know. I do that a lot. Yeah, we'll do these up a little higher too. Like about there. And I'll have to come back with shorter pieces for the edges. I'm not going to worry about that right now. And I'm not really trying to necessarily count out any sort of spacing on these. Just putting them in and approximately where it feels appropriate. I can do this without fly mode on. I wonder if I'm... Ooh. I'm not too far. That's good. That's good. Sometimes the fly mode gets a little annoying. Where it's like, hey, I didn't really want to go through that particular wall, beam, mountainside, whatever. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. How are we shaping up? Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. So, now we're going to want to level off a little bit more. And I haven't really decided exactly how far down I want to go. That's sort of like a... I'll figure it out when I get there kind of a thing. Let's turn off my light. Yeah, those are fairly good in terms of a light source. Until you get over to the part where there is no light. Then you're like, oh yeah, we still need a light source over here. Okay. Alrighty. There and there. And then, of course, I'm going to have to do a wall-like thing over on this side, although it's probably going to be less of a wall and more of just natural stone that I'll put in. We'll see. We'll see. I might try for something like a wall, but I don't know. Okay. Yeah, relatively soon here I should probably stop with the ramp. I just want it to be realistic in terms of how deep it would go. And that's probably pretty good. So probably down to here would be the final stage, so to speak. There we go. That sheep is most likely going to get buried in the wall because instead of being smart and running up the ramp that I'm building, he's just kind of standing there. So, really not a smart fellow. He should be running up the ramp and out of here. Okay. Bring it all down a bit further. There we go. Perfect. And then I have to do something that looks like somewhat realistic like rails going up this, because yeah, the carts would have to go up. And that'll be really interesting because I've never done rails before. So I don't have any idea what I'm doing with that. So that'll be a fun little experiment that you guys will get to watch. We'll see if I can be even remotely realistic. I hope I can. No idea. I don't think I'm actually going to try and make carts. I don't know. That might be... Oh, but the carts would make it look so much more realistic, wouldn't it? See, now I say I'm not going to do something, and then I start to think about how much better it would look if I did. And I'm like, oh, but if I really want this to look realistic, it has to have this. I'm like, yes, and you're going to have to make that, so congratulations, good luck. Yeah, I know. Oh, well. Sometimes the downside to having a game where you can achieve incredible levels of detail is that you really want to achieve incredible levels of detail with everything. And you can spend a very substantial amount of time working on that. Okay. I'm hoping that I'm not going to like level out the ground and just drop into an endless cave, because that would kind of be my luck. Let's actually kind of even that up a little bit. There we go. That would totally be my luck. I'll be like, oh, okay, so we're just going to, real quick, level this out, and I would click the mouse button and plummet to my death. Which, yeah, I realize I'm in creative mode. I can't actually die, but still, I don't want to fall into a bottomless cave. Well, you never know. Maybe at some point in time there is actually, like, a cave to hell. Which I have not gotten to. I've never mined all the way to hell before. I've always gotten, caught up in other details. And, you know, just not really done it. Hellfire lurks, yeah. Yeah, that would be my luck. Okay. So, if I call this the top of our first little cave, cavern area, what have you. There we go. Let's go out. I'm just kind of holding down the arrow key, letting it go really far out. There we go. Perfect. Now, I really should do something about this. So that would be like right along here, kind of. Okay. So let's basically cover the whole thing. Because that might eliminate my need to figure out some stuff for that as well. How's that look? Yes, that meets up perfectly. Okay, let's turn fly mode off. Let's take a walk down our tunnel here. Oh. No, it doesn't actually meet up perfectly on all of them. Okay, well, it's close. Okay. And you can still see that up there, so I don't want that. So, we could always say that they're not going to start mining quite yet at this level. This is just like, I don't know, kind of like a holding area, maybe? Maybe we could say it's a holding area. Let's see. Okay, that fills that in. Let's take a quick peek over here. We're going to need to go over. Yeah. And where exactly does that come to? That needs to go up one, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Okay. So that would give us, that gives us pretty good coverage. That could be like a little, I don't know, tool station of some sort, which would explain why it's all squared out. And let's see, let's go over. There we go. Buddy, you're really gonna want to like get out of here. Come on. Come on. Really? They don't move, and I don't really want to kill him. Let's see, what am I looking for here? Looking for tools, right? Yes. Seriously? Like, that's... What the hell? Dude, out of the cave. He just stands there. Okay, well... I didn't really want to brick him in, but apparently he's not going to cooperate, so... He's going to get bricked in. Ah. This is so much easier. Let's see. Let's go that way, down. Perfect. Yes, perfect. And we're just going to remove a couple things. Okay. Oh yeah, over here. Back up a bit so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. That should be good. I just want to go down a little bit more. And then we'll finish up the lights. Oops. Yeah, I wasn't really planning on going down a little bit more when I was placing more stone. Okay. There we are. Yeah. I think that's good. Now we need lights. Now we need lights. Okay. So, first off, that really needs to come all the way over. Much better. And I'll try and keep it somewhat roughly the same or similar spacing. Similar is probably a better word to use than the same in this particular instance because it's not really going to be actually the same. Close is as good as it's going to get. Then we want, let's see here, one approximately in the center. And all the way over here. And over here. Okay. So that takes care of lighting along the ramp going down. Now, I'm going to change this up a little bit. There we go. No, we don't want to do that. There we go. Just kind of going along the edges a little bit. It's kind of... Oh, and one more here. Will it work? Apparently I need to fly up. There we go. All right. There. Okay. So, welcome back. We're going to need to do another beam going directly across. Yep. I wish they could be a little bit bigger. Yeah, we'll make it right about central. Okay. Go. All right. Much better. Have some lights along here too. Then, oof. Okay, that's pretty well lit up. And this looks a little bit too flat, so we're gonna jump back over here. Random corridor heading off in that general direction. Oh. Okay. All right. Okay, and I'm not going to detail or light that. It will just look the way that it looks. I will drop down a couple more of these. Kind of at the edges. There we are. Perfect. Okay, railroad ties. Whew. Let's start this up at the top because I want to think about where I want them to end. So I don't want railroad ties going into the workshop, which means they should probably, let's have a nice little placement piece here. Should probably end just after the doors to the workshop. So they should come kind of right up to here. Now, what's our spacing look like? 14. So at 7. So there's your center point. Maybe they should be a little bit more separated than that. There we go. Okay. Now what are we going to make them out of? That's a really good question. Yeah, really this is kind of our only option at all. Yeah. All right. So, how are we going to do this? still kind of dark in here, so I'm still probably going to need to do something else in terms of lighting in here. But first off, railroad ties. I really don't have a clue what I'm doing, so I'm seriously just like winging it here. And this is totally unrealistic, and I know that, but it's the basic idea is having a small groove that the wheels would fit into that it can roll back and forth on. That's really all I've got with that. And then, yeah, about that wide. Okay. So that would basically be your width. The edge of the ramp is going to be really interesting. I don't really know exactly how I'm going to pull that off. Let me see. Well, no. Blueprinting that's really going to be kind of a waste. So, no, actually it's not because of the spacing. Yeah, I'm going to need the spacing. Okay, so we're going to blueprint this. Nope, not medical, miscellaneous. Blueprint. There we go. But first, shorten this up. Not quite that short. There we go. There we are. And yeah, that's what that's going to be. Okay. So we start there. And there. Yeah. I think. We're going to find out. So, just going to say rail ties. Create. Okay. Now we're going to go back into our blueprints. And we're going to place this one over here somewhere. Somewhere. Oops, not quite that somewhere. Nope, a little bit further. There. Oop, not quite like that. And then a little bit further up. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to get rid of our markers up here because we don't need them anymore. And I don't know, I might try and do one rail cart here at the top, one rail cart at the bottom. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. There is one other thing that I'm going to do up here at the top, though, and that is, I have to remember what it's under. It's under the saw bench. Barriers? Yes, here we go. What do we have here? Definitely that one. I guess we'll do that. Let's see, where did it go? There we go. Okay. I don't really want it to come into, so right before. There we are. And jump over to the other side. There we go. Okay. So that's kind of the starting point. Okay. Yeah. Swap out the stone blocks for gravel. Okay. Let's go back to our blueprint. And good. Yep. The problem is having to place multiple blueprints. Okay. There we are. It's a shame that I can't... Ooh, see. Alright, that's what I was concerned about, was how to do this part. So we're gonna have to do this one by hand. Let's see if we can come out to the edge. Yep. It's going to look really weird coming down. So that'll be interesting. Very clearly, I mean, this is not like a functional functional rail tracks in any way, shape, or form. There's no way, right? But that's okay, because we're doing this purely for looks anyway. All right. Now comes the fun part. Ooh. No, it won't let me. Okay. It wants to do it like side to side. There we go. If I reselect it, will it reset? Yep, it will. Okay. So... No, because it wants to come up like that. I don't know. Maybe it would be easier to do them out by hand. Let's see. Now we can just use enter and have it hook up with the bottom. Wait, that's not even. Okay, try that again. Nope, not snapping too. How's that look? Much better. Okay. I probably had the construction mode on before and just didn't remember that I did it. Okay. Put his cursor over the last wood. Like the end of the last piece of wood? Yeah, because if you have construction mode enabled and you put your cursor over the last, the end of the last piece of wood, it'll snap to it. Okay, now That straight? I think it is. Lengthen that up. Okay. Does that look? Yeah, that'll work. All right. Ooh, that's really just one single solitary side. I still have to do the other one. Okay. Yep. Yep, roughly. And yes, okay. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. I wish I could have just used the blueprint. That really kind of would have been nicer, but you know, it is what it is. But I think that I'm going to just leave it as stone because this is all, these are all blocks, so I don't really want to take up all the blocks and then have to put them down again. Okay. There we go. And there we go. Alright, so there's our central pieces. Now we need to go back up. And just one? Yep, just one. Okay. Yes, that's the right. Yeah, that'll work. That will work. And I'll come back and kind of fill in the top later. There we go. There and there. Now, just let it snap in. There we are. Almost, almost. I greatly admire people who have set up the tracks for entire rail systems in their worlds. Just want to say, it's a huge amount of work. I have a great deal of respect for those who are willing to go through and do that work. That is absolutely amazing. And admittedly, the interest in avoiding that much work is part of why I'm really glad that we're getting horses instead of trains, because I don't really want to go through and lay out an entire transportation network. That's going to be a huge amount of work that I don't really want to do. I would much prefer having a horse that I could just ride, and not have to worry about building an entire transportation network for it. There we go. Don't do that. Seriously? Okay. Done with construction mode. It's pissing me off. There we go. There. And there. Use construction mode for the last little bit. Okay. All right. Now I just need the center pieces. What did I use for those? I used this size. Okay. So let's get these laid out. And first off, that's too close together. So we're gonna redo real quick. And I don't really have an exact spacing for these. It's really just approximate. There we go. Okay. Now, I need to rotate that slightly. Okay. And this is seriously a very, like, quick and dirty version of a little rail system. This is so not an actual effective rail system, for sure. Oops. There we go. There we go. Okay. Kind of try to keep it fairly even going up. Not that it's going to be. Okay. Yeah, not really terribly even at all. Not at all. Alright, now I'm going to fill in these holes here. These little gaps. I want these to look, first disable the construction system. I want these to look a little bit better. So, Alright, I sink that down in. How does that look? Not bad. Not terrific, I know, but not bad. That in a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great way to fill in, but it'll do. It'll do. Sure. Okay, other side. Oh, look at that, it's dark again. Wow, days go by so fast. Okay. Oh. Not really doing exactly what I want it to do. I'll just have to live with it. I'll just have to live with it. There we go. And then over here. Just set it right on top of it. And sink down. Wow, when you zoom in, you can really tell where you made some mistakes. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Where are my cats? They are asleep in the chair behind me, curled up together. Very, very happy, cozy, and apparently not moving for anything. Which is okay, because earlier one of them was trying to rub all over the keyboard, which is incredibly, incredibly unhelpful. Okay. So, a minecart. Okay, this is going to be interesting because I don't really have any idea what I'm doing. So let's think about what we want for the wheels first. I don't really want them to match. I really don't. Maybe that. And then you'd have the axles to go across. Let's try that. Okay. So there's my beam. I'm going to get that out of the way. Let's shorten this. Increase diameter. Shorten. Come up and turn. There we go. Look at that. It's a wheel. It's a really kind of crappy wheel. Okay. So, does that look big enough? That's the thing. Maybe? Should it be a little bit bigger? Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay. And it sinks down in there pretty well. So then let's go over here. Yeah, these don't. Okay. Slight change of plans. I want this. No, it won't. It won't align. Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will. Can I... About like that. Roughly. Roughly. Okay. So, now... Oops. Yeah, about like that. And we want this to go all the way across. Yeah, I know. Right control. It's just hard to see if they're perfectly lined when you don't actually use the grid. A little bit shorter. Yeah, that's roughly. Roughly is kind of as good as it's going to get, really. Oops. Okay. All right, so then, oh, of course I'm doing this with absolutely no, useful reference images of what in the hell a minecart looks like. Okay. All right. There's your basic framework. Not bad. Not bad. So, then we're going to need planks. I think these will be good because they're nice and worn out, and you wouldn't really have anything that looked great in a minecart. So, I don't have, yeah, okay. A little bit longer, I think. Yeah. Can I tilt it a little bit? No. Yeah, so I don't have them perfectly even, which is a shame. Will this one actually cover the entire... No, of course it won't. Of course it won't. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. That would probably be too deep. So, be something a little bit more like that. And a little bit more that way. Yeah, I think that would work. Let's come over here. Okay, come on. Right about there. Then shorten this up. Right about there. Okay. All right, well, that's probably about the simplest cart that you can imagine. But it's just going to be a mine cart, so it really doesn't have to be anything terribly fancy. Thank God. I don't think I could make anything terribly fancy. Let's look at our beams again. Let's just throw in a couple of quick little, like, support-ish looking things. Yeah. Okay. So, and about like that. That looks about in the center. Yeah, about in the center. There we go. Yeah, that's probably good. Now, lengthen it out a little bit, just to make it look like there's something of a framework that these boards were attached to. And then hopefully I can just blueprint the thing and These didn't come out the sides, did they? No, they did not. That's good. Blueprint the thing and use it for the other cart. And, you know, since it's a blueprint, I'll be able to use it for any future carts as well. That one's going to have to be a little bit longer. There we are. And there. A little bit longer. Okay. Okay. So, take a quick little tour around our cart here. Nothing seems to be sticking out. That's good. Of course, the only other thing that it's missing is some sort of a little hitch or connection device at either end. Let's see. Oh yeah. Can't jump that. Let's try experimenting at this end. So if I shorten this up significantly. Well, no, because the pulley wouldn't be actually on the cart. A pulley system would be like up here at the top and down at the bottom. The cart just needs to have something for the pulley to attach to, which is the tricky part. Okay. Sort of. Yeah, wow, no. Not. No, definitely not. Let's try this. Okay. Lengthen that a little bit. Yeah, that's a little too big. Let's see here. Lengthen it a little bit more. Okay. Nope. Out. Okay. And maybe, sort of. How to make something that looks like a hitch. Oof. Okay. Bring that a little bit more. And actually, no, I'd want a different... Let's try something a little bit different. Does that look approximately the same diameter as those? Yes, it does. Okay. So, if I do that, and then need something very different, kind of much lighter. It's going to be a good contrast, but yeah, we'll do it. Okay. So now you need to be smaller and longer. There. Then if I go back to that one, can you be any smaller? You really can't. Okay. What am I looking at here? Is that? Yeah, that's even. Okay. It's like I can't tell. Okay. Now, there. Okay. So that would be like if another cart pulled up, you would pull the pin, the other cart would attach or like slide in, and then you would drop the pin back down and it would lock the two carts together. That's the theory behind that. Now, this is going to be the really fun part. Oh, I have to get a fresh blueprint. I always forget that it won't let you reuse them. It's always like, oh, no. Make another one. Like, okay, fine. I'll make another one. Okay. So if my starting point is there, I want to include the hitch. The problem is, this includes the railroad ties, which I don't want it to. But there's no way to not, kind of. And yeah, you would have to go out one more to include that. But you can make a blueprint of a blueprint. So oops, caps lock. I have no idea why I had that on. Test cart. Go out here. And let's place it. Then we're going to edit it. There we go. Oops, and that guy. Okay. So now we have a cart. Oh. Get that in. Okay. All right. So now we now have a mine cart. Okay. Now we're going to go down to the bottom of our mine. Or, this is not really the bottom of our mine, but open up our journal. And we're going to want to use our mine cart. We're going to have to do a little bit of editing. I'd like it to be up a little further so it looks like it's sitting on or in those rail tracks there. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Excellent. So we've got one cart sitting down here, potentially waiting to be loaded. And then we have one cart sitting up here. Now, of course, the problem is that, well, I shouldn't say it's a problem because we can actually fix it. We can do this a couple of different ways. The way that I am kind of the most fond of would be having, like you would say, there's a processing facility down there that's going to separate out your different kinds of ore so that what's coming up to the workshop is actually going to be ore that's ready to be smelted down and used. And this cart's not really big enough for 3 medium crates, so let's do a small one. Oh, I'm in the way. Sorry, didn't mean to be. You could actually do a few small crates. There we go. All right. Perfect. And this one is right up here, just waiting to be unloaded into the workshop. Now, the other thing that we need for our mine, actually, this doesn't need to be here, but there we go. We need an actual doorway here. Now, I don't want to use the big wooden doors because I feel like this wouldn't have those. If that makes sense. It would be more of a steel kind of industrial type look to it. So, for that, we're going to grab some of these. We're going to stick with black. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Then we're going to do our doors here. As much as I like that, and I might use it elsewhere, I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. So, yeah, because that's pretty well centered in between them. Now let's take a look at our doors here. There we go. Oh, it's going to be a little fussy about that. There. That should clear up its fussiness. There we are. And there. Okay. Come on, I really want you to just match up perfectly. Pretty please? No. We don't want to? Okay. That means that I'm going to have to do a little bit of destruction. That's okay, because we'll put it back. There we are. And it's going to be fussy over here as well. Okay. Now, once you have one of these set, comes, oh, come on, generally much easier to place the rest of them. Most of the time. There we go. You get it lined up just right. Come on. There we go. Now, of course, ideally, these... Oh. I just had a thought. I want to try something here. Bear with me. We're going to do an experiment. I don't know if anyone else has tried this, so, I mean, I may be kind of recreating the wheel here. I don't know. But we'll see. Okay. Oops. That's right. We're going to need this to be a little bit wider. Maybe even wider. Let's see. There we go. Right. All right. So it does kind of seem to want it to be a bit of a more, stable platform for placement. All right. Do it. It'll be okay. I promise. There we go. I think that just worked. Let me get rid of all this. And we'll find out. But I think it worked. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I don't know why I haven't thought to try this before. Okay. Almost. Come on, go away quickly. Go away quickly. I want to see if my experiment worked. Okay. Let's see. Can you... Ha ha ha! They don't swing together, which is kind of a shame. But I still end up with a double door, so I'll take it. Now, I need to replace the blocks that I, tossed away. Which ones were those? Cobblestone. Here we go. What? Didn't I tell it to craft one? There we go. Okay. There we are. that would be our mine entrance. I like it. I like it a lot. It looks pretty good. Okay. I do wish that we could have the doors swing together. That would be really nice, but I'll take what I can get. Okay. Excellent. So, let's see. What else do we need in here? I need something else. Oh, let's do back to our saw bench. There we go. Like that. Looks good. Some benches for anyone waiting for the guards that would, of course, be here because stuff in here is valuable. That's really totally a bad angle. There we go. Okay. And let's drop a couple more. Okay. And, oh yes, I wanted lights up here. So, for that, there's my beam. But the entire floor is stone. Which is why I don't want to tear it up, to lay down gravel blocks instead. Okay, no. You can't paint stone. Because it's this floor, this is actual stone blocks. It's not real stone. So you can't paint over the blocks. It would have to actually be taken up and gravel laid down. There we go. And we'll put one in the middle. Where are my lanterns here? 1, 2, and a third one over here. Okay. I think that should probably be enough lighting for this area. Yeah, that should be good. All right. So then, this did not get finished last time. I feel like there should be a ladder up over here. Yeah, there should be a ladder. And very soon I'm going to have to go dump a whole bunch of stuff out of my inventory because I'm about to run out of room. Ladders are workbench. Yep. We'll do a metal ladder. There we go. And let's see. Round. Right there. There we go. Takes care of that. And then, what else do we need to put down, actually? First off, I really do need to go and get rid of all this other stuff in my inventory because I'm not going to be able to hold anything. So we'll head over here to my routine dumping ground here, also known as Giant Hole in top of the mountain. And let's see, I think we can get rid of that, we can get rid of that, we can get rid of that. I think we're done with the ladders. We're done with those. We don't need to be carrying blueprints. We're done with that. We're all done making doors. I think I'll hold on to the benches because I might want those. Okay. All right, back down. It would be kind of nice if there was an easier way to get stuff out of your inventory than just literally tossing it. Okay, so let's take a look at the remaining workbenches, well, the remaining crafting stations we need to place, which is pretty much all of them. The only actual crafting stations that we have right now are the furnace and the anvil. So let's do one of those. What was that? 3. I'm going to try to make them all match. Okay, that has more colors to it. Yeah, we'll still go with that one. Spinning wheel. Okay. Different again. Tanning racks. These will obviously go by the doors and the windows because you're really not going to want to have that too terribly close to you. Grinding station, paper press, I like that one. I don't really know that I want this to be quite that modern, but you don't really have much of a choice. Let's go with the darker one. I don't know where we'll put that. We'll think about that. That's what we'll do. Okay, so there were a few things that I wanted to have by the windows, so we're going to start there. Actually, the tanning racks. I want to leave space clear because theoretically you would open these big doors and you would have like big dray wagons come in, big freight wagons that would come in and load and unload. So we want to have the space for that. So let's go over here, kind of. Actually, no. We'll put a couple of tanning racks over here because over by the windows, I want to have the loom and the spinning wheel and stuff over there. So I would say let's try and do a full 4. It's going to be a pretty busy place, really. So, and just having it be a little bit irregular. Okay. Kind of be your tanning area. And then over here, where you would have a little bit more light coming in, this is where I want the loom and spinning wheels. Looms and spinning wheels to go. So the looms you would probably want the most amount of light for. So if we do the spinning wheels, place them like here. And another one over here. Yeah, that's not really. Sorry, I decided I don't like your positioning. Let's do there. And there. Okay. We'll put that down there. Then, theoretically, I think you would want to have like the light from the window coming over your shoulder and shining onto what you're doing, and not really have it be like in your eyes or anything like that. So I think those are a little too close together. We're gonna have to push them back a bit more. Right about there. And right about there. Okay. So now a bench, chair. We'll go with some fairly weathered chairs. They don't really want them to match completely. Okay. Thing sort of like that. And there will be a lot of similarity between a lot of these workstations, just because there really would be. It's the same workstation. So it's going to look pretty similar. Okay. So there we have those workstations. Now, where would we have our big ones? Let's see. Kind of want to have them this nice central area here because they're so big. You're really not going to want to have anything else terribly close to it. So there, and let's drop another one there. Okay. And then because that doesn't... Oop, wrong way. Come on. There we go. I just want a little bit of variation in the angles. Let's go over here. Do a couple of those. Can I leave one just like closed? Or will it open back up? It'll stay closed. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. I don't think I've ever tried to just leave one of those closed before. So, you learn something new every day. Okay. Now, we still have 4 other workstations to place. Now, this would be kind of over here close to your mine entrance, because they would bring up the stone from the mines as well. So let's put it over here. throw a couple of these in kind of next to, or close to, somewhat close to, the entrance. Then just gonna have one of these. And it's gonna sit over here because again, it would use a lot of the processed ore. So it kind of makes sense to have that be pretty close to where the processed ore will be coming out of. And then, let's see, so you would be able to come in here, pull the wagon. Well, you would actually be backing the wagon in. You could back it in over there. You could do the same thing with a smaller wagon over here. That's going to be a bit of a tighter fit. So, where would our 2 remaining craft stations go? You could put, let's see, put a couple of these along the wall here. Yeah, so if we do, let's do this. There. And like right about there. A couple of stations. And then last would be the saw benches. And that's really, ooh, what am I gonna do with you? You need space. You really do need space. And I've done a very good job of filling the space. So I could put it in the center here and just like nothing coming in that door would ever come over here. Yeah. Do that. But it would look better like that, but not too close to those. So there. And then there should be another one too. Definitely. Like about there. Okay. Turn my little light off, see how we're doing for light in here. It's not too bad. I think that the lanterns keep it pretty well lit. So I'm not sure that we actually need any more lighting. This might be good. Okay. Now that the workstations are placed, now we need storage. So, first off, let's think about what kind of storage you would need for each workstation, because that's going to be different for the different workstations. You would almost want to drape the hides over something. So, what if we didn't have 4 of these? What if we just had 2? And let's see here. Not those. We're going to want beams. And I think we'll use somewhat lighter textures. That's a good one. Beams and logs. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, did you want to go out? Okay. Apparently, I have to take a quick break because my dog requires my attention. So, I will be right back, and I will leave you all with this lovely view of our almost actually finished workspace. All right, I'll be right back. Coming fearless. You're up. Oh. Okay, I'm back. Brr. It is not very warm outside today. Definitely not warm outside. All right. So, Let's see. Stand that up. Thank you very much. Does this need to be bigger? I think it could be a little bit bigger. Yes. One of those in. And then that'll be a little bit bigger too. I kind of think on a larger kind of industrial level almost. There we go. Yes, that's all the way to the edges. That's very good. Now I would like to turn this around and do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So there, there, and there. And that got, yep, right into the edge as well. Perfect. Okay. I'll go back to that. The nice thing about kind of putting in the poles and then putting in the second beam is that you can see here that second beam will overlap the poles nicely. So it works a little bit better frequently than trying to fiddle with the spacing on the poles to get them to work with your beams. Okay, so that gives us something where they would be able to, it's not a great deal of room here, but they'd be able to kind of drape things over that. Now, I feel like there should be something else here in addition. What should that be? Maybe, let's shorten this. Will that go all the way to the wall? Or the beam? Let's see. Yes, it will. Okay. That is what I needed to know. And now I'm going to want my nice little cheaty light back because the sun is going down and I don't really feel like dealing with that right about now. Let's see. Yeah, that needs to come over a bit. Does that look about centered there? Yeah, that looks about centered. Okay, so that would give them a little bit more room to kind of drape things over. And then each area should have kind of like a completed goods, basically. So no, I don't want it to look that nice. We're going to go with the crates. And the reason we're going to go with the crates is because it'll get packaged up nicely when it goes upstairs. Like that will be a huge packing, storage, prep kind of a room. Now some stuff obviously you would not put into crates, like wooden or stone or wooden blocks. That's not going to go into crates. But some of the stuff made at that table would. So we're going to give that its crate. This stuff definitely would. So we'll put a crate over here. And then, obviously, that stuff's not going to be crated. This, though, yeah, no, that stuff wouldn't be either. But over here, we're going to have a lot of crates over here. But we're going to swap these out for something a little bit smaller. Okay. And we're going to do this as one on either side. So it would kind of be like you would pick up the unfinished product from one crate, you would work it, and then you would put the finished product into the other crate. It's kind of the theory behind that. Oops. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing over here, where you're going to have 2 crates, because one is going to be your unspun, unprocessed, and the other is going to be your processed or finished product. There we go. Now, these, let's see here. You could, now, I think the big ones are overkill. Serious overkill. Instead, we're going to do a couple of smaller ones right below. There and there. Okay. And then larger crates over here. Just a couple of them. Perfect. Now we're going to do kind of the same thing that we did for the tanning hides, but we're going to do it over here. Because they might need to actually drape stuff and hang it as well. And actually, we're not going to start in the corner. We're going to start right about there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 7. Yeah, there. Okay. Oh. All right. And then we'll bring you back. How's that look? Good? Good. Right over here. Very good. And then, yeah, we're kind of at the door, so that's not really going to come out any further. We could do... Could do something right back here. Shorten that up a bit. Lengthen it back up a bit. Except that it's really not going to allow for anything to be placed on it unless, here's a thought. Here is a thought. We'll see how this goes. Turn around. Can I like tilt? There we go. Shorten that a little bit. Now I need the grid to go away because this does not work with the grid. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now that has like little hooks on it where other things could hang. Okay, very good. I like the way that this is looking. Obviously, we still have the upstairs to do. But overall, I think it's going well. So, let's scurry along upstairs here. Our ladder works, which is always good. Okay. Now, literally nothing has been done up here. So this is kind of a lot of work to do. But most of this is really just going to be a massive storage area. So it's not going to be that bad. First, though, I want to go outside because I'm thinking that I want something that will let me haul. I want to try and put in something that looks like a pulley system. I don't really know how well that's going to work out, but I want to give it a shot. I've seen people do some incredibly detailed pulley systems. Let's see, there's one space in between that. Okay. So that would be really, really cool to do, but oh man, that would be very complicated, I know. Okay, so we're gonna have to go up one more. Where's my nice cobblestone? Did I get rid of it? I did. Silly me. Like, I was never gonna need that again. There we are. Perfect. Okay. Let's actually do, it's gonna go one at the corners, so to speak, so that we know where we are. There we go. Excellent. Now, we're gonna get rid of the rest of that. Okay, let's do 4. Start there. Oops. And we're gonna end over here. Delete. Oh, that removal tool is so wonderful. Really wonderful. Okay. Now, we're gonna use it again because, like I said, it's really very wonderful. So, I'm going to take blocks out from here over to here and then up. Yeah, so that gets me, where's my little measurement thing? Okay, 10 by 6 by 1 is what that does for me. Okay. So, let's shift start point and end point and then go up to 6. All right, so these would be my openings for pulley systems to bring things up and in. We'll figure out how we want to make that happen at a later date. I'm not going to have the window in here. There we go. So, let's see. Storage, storage, storage. All right, so that's wood beams 86, 63. Let's take a look at planks. It's 83, 84. Or 60. Wrong one. That's 86. It's not bad. Ooh, 89. Yeah, I like to look at that one. We'll do that. All right. So, I'm going to put in the storage and then put in the lighting around the storage, basically. And let's see here. We'll start back here. And I'm going to use the grid here. I'm going to come over. Except that it doesn't want to. There we go. Now it will. It'll be very much in, but it will come over. Okay. So, that one. Then... Let's see if we go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we do every 5, that should be good. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 5. There we go. Alright, let's start with that for the basics. Actually, we're going to need to come further out because these need to be... I'm forgetting what has to go in first, which is not good of me. Should be keeping these things... Right, well... I made enough noise in the game that my dog thinks someone is knocking on the door. That's why she's going a little bit crazy. Alright. So, I think back here along the wall... Yeah, we'll have to decide what we're putting there first. I'm doing things out of order. Okay. So... we're going to store a lot of finished goods up here. Like when they're done downstairs in the workhouse, workroom, workspace, whatever you want to call it, they would then come upstairs to be stored until they're used or they're sold, whichever comes first. So with that in mind, we're going to put them in chests. We're not going to worry about capacity because, you know, we don't actually have to. I'm going to make more noise. Okay. There we go. So... let's see if we can do 2 chests for in between every beam. Roughly, because that does what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over instead of 5. Yeah, I think that'll work. Because we could actually just go ahead and place that, but I don't want to. It's okay, Fearless. Then... the next beam doesn't have to be quite that big. There. And there. 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 A little bit bigger. Go all the way to the ceiling. There we go. Okay. So now, I'm going to bring this down to a reasonable level. Nothing sticking out there. Good. There we are. Okay. Except it should probably be down here. I'm not really as focused as I should be today. I will admit. Freely admit. Okay. Lay that down. A little bit broader. And a lot longer. Will it go all the way? It will. Yay. That's perfect. Really? No, it doesn't want to. Yeah, it doesn't want to go all the way. Or does it? Maybe it does. As I'm, like, going back and forth. I think. Let's do that. And see. There we go. There we go. Okay. Looking good. Oh, I have a lot more of these to create. Wow. Okay. There and there. Yep. And then we can just go right up along like that. Okay. There. And there. Then, of course, we're going to have to make ladders so that people can actually get up here to get to these. Obviously, this is a little bit out of any kind of realistic reach. Okay. Now, I don't have a ladder on me. Okay. All right, we're making one. We're making one. These will go with wood. And do we have a nice darker brown? Yes, we do. Perfect. That. Okay. Now, I don't really want to go with the grid on that. Can I get away with... How close can I go? Like that. There we go. Okay, let's see. You'd be able to reach both. Okay. Very good. Turn my little light off. Now let's try something else. It's going to take the blocks too, though, because they're into the wall. Shoot. Well, so much for the notion of just blueprinting that and not worrying about it. All right. Let's do... How big were these? That size-ish? Yeah. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we are. Oops, and let's not forget top pieces as well. And there we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So it's kind of going to go up in pieces. I will run around and put up all the beams, then the support pieces, and so on, so I don't have to keep resizing the beams, because that gets really old really fast. 3, 4, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 5, 6. And I don't know how close to the front I really want to go, because this could be kind of a loading zone. You know what? I think this will be as close as far out as I come. We'll just do that. That'll be good. Now, I love that these things kind of like emit light. They glow, really. 1, 2, 3. I have a fairly decent sized aisle, I think. Right? Yeah. Be pretty good sized. Make sure that we get everything nice and lined up. And then this is what? 1, 2, 1, 2. This would be like for the center beam, because this one will have storage on either side. Go. little bit further. Thought I was done. I'm not. There we go. All right, let's go all the way to the ceiling. Oops. Unless, of course, you get a little over-enthusiastic. Do something you shouldn't. There we go. Perfect. We're getting there. We're getting there. Happily, it's not like I had any kind of time frame in mind when I decided to start this build. Really won't bother me if it takes like 6 months to finish it. Because after all, it's huge. This is going to take a while. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll do another. Yeah, another set right here. That'll be good. Okay, and then of course, turn my light back on so I can see my grid lines properly. This is going to be a giant forest of wood beams for a little bit until I have all the beams placed and I come back and start actually like putting in support pieces and shelving and all that good fun stuff. But yeah, for a little bit, it's just going to be a giant forest of beams. Go. Hope that I'm remembering spacing correctly. I think I am. Yeah, I am. Okay. And then once I get all the shelving in, I will go back and do the lights before I worry about getting storage chests put in. Because the more storage chests that I put in, the more I'm going to be blocking light. I want to be able to see what I'm doing because it's very helpful to actually be able to see what you're doing. Novel concept, I know. Okay. All right, so we have the beginnings of our shelving here. Now I'm going to go all the way back up here and check sizing as I swap this little guy out. I think that is exactly, yep, exactly the right size. Except that for some reason that did not... Oh no, I put that too far out. Ah. Okay. Well, that'll be a fun thing to correct. That'll be a fun thing to correct. Okay. Okay, we'll have to put a small piece in there. Unless I just want to widen the size of the shelving. No, because I don't need to. Which means that all those are too wide as well. So that's awesome. Completely messed that all up. All right. Let's get rid of these. See, stuff like this is why I really would have preferred to be able to just blueprint it. But that just really necessarily would not have cooperated with me. Okay. There we go. All right. 1 instead of 2, basically. Okay. Then I'm going to get to go back and redo the others. Oh, man. Okay. Ah, the mistakes we make. But the wider hallway is nice. The wider hallway is nice. It does mean I won't need this centerpiece, though. Because... yeah, so if I just take out the one side, that might be perfectly fine. We'll see. See how that goes. can't believe I did that. Actually, I can. I kind of can this morning. I had a little too much fun last night. And so now I'm paying for it by not being overly awake. Okay. Let's lay that down. Shorten this up. There we go. Now, let's lengthen this out here. And bring it back up to the correct size. Okay. Now we had one there and there, which would mean, oops, turn enter off. One there and there. And there, there, there. There we go. Okay. This is going to be basically a massive warehouse. See here, 11, okay. Let's see. Oops. Try to make sure that I actually get the rest of these placed correctly. There we go. Okay. Now, let's do our spacing here real quick and see. I'm going to need connector pieces going in between these two. That's what I'm going to need. Shorten this up. Come on. About like that. Maybe a little bit longer. Hey, I'm almost climbing. That's interesting that it's sort of letting me do that. You know, except for the part where it's sort of not as well. All right, let's zoom all the way around the other side. Okay, how's that look? Not too bad, since you mostly won't be able to see it. And then let's put one in the middle as well. Okay, now we can make this very wide. Ooh, we can actually almost match it up so it's almost perfectly even. Look at that. Let's see what that does for our storage chests here. We're just gonna cheat and kind of walk right through stuff for a minute. Turn these around. Let's see if this will work. That seems to be working out just fine. Okay. Perfect. All right, so now I need to do this on the rest of them, and I need to do the longer pieces as well. And I think that, yeah, this should really be a all the way up kind of thing. And then a centerpiece. Okay. Almost. Well, I don't know why I'm saying almost. This is by no means almost done. This is very far away from being almost done. Okay. Now, I can lengthen this out, do the other side. Is that right? Yep, that's right. There we go. Why did it just do that? I didn't want it to do that. Okay. That's better. Weird. Every once in a while it does weird things. It's just the way it is. Okay. Hello. Is it... Wow. I'm definitely not going to be able to pronounce that, so I'm just going to say Rara. Hi, Rara. How are you? Let's see here. Lighting is up next. Lighting is up next, which means we need our lights again. Now I do want the workbench. Lights. And I want the closed ones because you wouldn't necessarily want to have open flame up here. Now, the other thing that I want would be some nice beams to hang the lights from. There we go. So, I think we'll kind of put that right up there at the very top of each one of these. The pier, oh my gosh. I did not remake the entire stairs. I kind of let it be how it was. Because that was just that would have been way too much. Way too much. And then unfortunately I started having some glitching weird problems with that world, so I just set it aside. And started a new one, which is this one here. Alright, so now what's my spacing between these? So 1, 2, 3. And that would be on the fourth one. So I need to move these. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that would be the fourth one. But that can be my spacing guide. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, this is a brand new world that I'm doing purely on creative. It's like a giant ranch slash plantation, whatever you want to call it. This building here is the workroom slash storage area that I am working on right now. So let's see, I need to take some stuff down. Yay. Actually, first I should probably put some stuff up. So let's make it a little bit bigger. And lengthen it up as much as I can. A little bit more. Okay. So, right here. Yep. Yes, that works. Oh, good. Good, 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 good. All right, let's see. We've got about 15 minutes left. So I'm not going to get too much more done. Oops. But I do want to and then 2 more, so this would be, yep, that would be the other side. I would like to get the rest of these support pieces up for the shelving. And then, of course, as always, leave myself a couple of minutes, and actually, silly me, I'm not going to get the rest of the support pieces up. I talk like I'm moving much faster than I actually am. There's no way we're doing that. I do want to give a quick flying tour of the rest of our area here so that everybody can kind of see what has been done. That's 2 more down it needs to go. There we are. Yep, I think that's about the same sizing wise, right? Is it? No, it's not. That one is. There we go. And this would be the perfect width for the next set of corridors. I'll do a double shelf next to this one as well. So lengthen that. And then 1, 2. There we are. Okay. So we'll have a pretty good start on the shelving here. Yeah, it'll be a good start. It really will. I think this is going to look really good once I, actually get it done. Let's put the rest of the lights up real quick. For the areas that we have ready for lighting. I'd like to be able to, turn my light off. So, beautiful starlit night outside. Lovely out there. Okay. All right. That's looking pretty good. That will all get filled in with shelving. And then I will probably do something different for storage on the other side. So I'll probably do like half of it in this kind of shelving. And then something a little bit different up here maybe. Just to have a little bit of variety. I don't really want it to look all the same. But first, let's change the time of day. Oops, I'm going to need 2 T's in there or it's not going to know what I'm talking about. All right. Let's take a quick look around the property, see what we have going on here. The workspace here is built into the side of a mountain, except that it's more accurate to say that I flattened the mountain, built the workshop, and then redid the mountain over the top of it, which is why it looks a little funky, because it was put back in over the top. So the lower level is all just the workspace area. Our one functional door, and then our giant bay doors that are really just for appearances. They don't function at all. All of our workstations in here. And up here, we have our little, kind of our high security storage chamber for finished ores. They would go in there. Nice and secure under lock and key. All of our other workstations, most of the crafting benches, where applicable, they have their little storage spaces next to them. 3 big furnaces in there. And then in here, we have the entrance to our mine. 1 little cart here. Boxes, barrels, ready to be theoretically unloaded into the workshop there. Our little cart tracks going down. And then down here at the kind of next level of our mine is the next little cart waiting to be filled to go back up. And I'm really not going to detail anything else down here. I'm going to leave that as it is because I'm focusing on building and not mining here. So I don't really care to have more details down there. Now here we have our mine entrance. Technically, these are, like, you could open all of the doors. It wouldn't really do you a lot of good because it's not like they function smoothly together. You still have to open them separately. but that is a way to get double doors. And then, of course, our house over here. We'll do a quick little tour for those of you who may not have seen it yet. The servants' entrance. And it's really nice that the cow just kind of came to us. Except that now I can't get past her. There we go. Sorry. I don't know what you're doing down here. Unless you want to come in and be eaten. Go away. Aw, cow nose through the door. These will be like cold storage rooms in here. Once I detail those. This is where the giant cook stove is going to go. Just some little place markers there. This whole area here will be cooking and food prep. Down this corridor, this is the servants' quarters, so kind of a more communal room here, and then these will be filled with, it'll basically be dorm style living. So a bunch of rows of beds with storage chests at the end of them. The men's dormitory here, and then the women's dormitory in here, and they each have their own bathroom down at the end. And then upstairs, this lets out into the dining room. So they can bring food directly up into the dining room. Hallway here. Really only the first level actually has like rooms that have doors and windows and other fun stuff like that. I haven't started work on the second story yet because I got distracted by making the workshop. So the second story is unfinished as of yet. That we'll see. This might be next week's project. I haven't decided yet. I have a whole week to decide what next week's project is going to be like. This will eventually be pretty much a full wraparound porch with a railing at some point. And then out here, I've put in outlines for where the buildings are going to be. This will be a horse stable. We've got our fields here, which do need to be fenced in. I'll probably experiment with a few different kinds of fences. See if I can figure out if there is actually something that keeps animals out. I'm not really sure there is. Let's see, what was I going to put here? Oh yeah, this is going to be a bunkhouse again. So like the servants' quarters in the house, those will be for the household staff. And then there'll be a big bunkhouse out here for the people who will work the fields, work with the animals, work in the workshop there. All that good fun stuff. And then more pasture land. I don't really know what I'm going to do with the exotic animals yet. I don't really want to raise tigers. It's a cute little baby. Because I'm in creative mode. He doesn't want to kill me. But I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with the exotic animals yet. I don't know that I really want to raise giraffes and elephants and so on. I was kind of thinking more like sheep, cattle, goats, chickens, pigs, that kind of thing. More normal ranch, farm animals. Got the pathways in between everything. A lot of terraforming went into this. So there will be a nice little creek that will come through the pastures that will provide them with water. You know, once I finish that. Wonder if our elephant is still... Oh no, that might be him. He may have just fallen down. For the entire first live stream, we had an elephant just hanging out in midair. So that was cool. This is also really cool. Just kind of sitting there. Interesting. I'll worry about that later. But yeah, so that is what's going on for the current project. And of course, Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time here on Twitch. And that's going to wrap it up for today's live stream. Don't forget to hop on over. Lady DeWinter should be starting her stream fairly soon here. Actually, let me check and see. She generally starts at, yep, she's live now. So, actually, let's see if I can make this work. Let's try doing... See, I wonder if I can do a raid. I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think that I can actually do a raid on someone else's channel, which is where like we all jump over into their channel. I don't think I can. But Lady DeWinter streams on both Twitch and YouTube, so hop on over, check her out, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great week, everyone.